Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news. Hot dogs in the rain.
Out with the old, in with the poo.
A queue with a view.
Hotel preview.
100 little details. Well, hey there, hi there, hello there, Disney fans. Is this looking a little bit different to you? This is the beginning of a brand new setup. There are three of us back on the, can I say couch?
Yeah, you can say couch if that's what you want to say.
Kitchen chairs today. There are three of us back on the kitchen chairs today after 2 weeks of illness, kind of tennis gaming between Chris and I, but we've managed to make it back and we are trying something a bit new.
It's a work in progress. Listeners, if you want to know, there's a big white space in one part of this
Canvas, if you will.
It's a blank canvas, but we've got, the beginnings of a new setup.
And we will talk about that shortly.
I think we've done it.
Yeah, and also I have a new MacBook, and so I'm doing everything on that. So it's the first time I've ever done it. I'm noticing things already, but so far everything seems to be running a lot smoother.
Suspiciously smooth.
Suspiciously.
Now we have to address one thing straight away because Dee has just said, OMG Hugh. OMG Hugh. I love that and love and need that shirt. When did you get it, if you don't mind me asking?
I got it at the Character Warehouse outlets on Vineland in Florida. And it was like, I think it was $15.
$15.
And
bargain.
listeners, what we're looking at here is a Halloween print, but it's DuckTales, and is it just DuckTales?
No, because Minnie's there.
Oh no, it's got all the gangs on it, but it's like got some classic Halloween stuff. I made a point of in my video of going back and just checking that I got the repeat right, because sometimes the repeat on either side of the buttons is too immediate and too similar. So I made sure to go back and get one that was really different on either side. I'm unhappy with the sleeves though. They stick out, they're quite baggy, and I don't like them, and they need stitching in.
Oh.
My mum will do that for you.
I can do that.
Hugh, it was $15?
Yes.
I had $25 like that shirt.
I should have got two.
I have to say that was...
Let me. Oh, you know what? I think I've got the tag in my back pocket.
Of course you do.
It was $59.99.
I don't $59.99
no,
like that shirt.
Exactly.
I might have to find on the video how much it was. I think it was 15 though.
This was...
$14.99.
If ever you go... I know this is Disneyland Paris Show, but very briefly. If you go to Florida, about a 10-minute Uber drive away is a designer outlet, and they have a Disney outlet there that sells all the end-of-line stuff. So we went in February, and they had all the end-of-line Halloween and Christmas merch.
All right, carry on.
It's okay. And we got a haul that day. I got a Christmas spirit jersey for $20. You got that $60 shirt for $15. We got a load of munchlings.
Do you know what,
Munchables.
Chris? What? I did consider getting you one, but I couldn't be confident. I know I shouldn't be telling him this, but I wasn't confident on the size, so I didn't.
That's fair, but also it would have been a bit strange because we'd have both ended up wearing it at the same time, wouldn't we? So
yeah,
I thought I'd go for an autumnal jumper today, but it's not Disney related. I just quite like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you want to go in the chat then?
Oh yeah.
Who are they? On the birthplace.
That was a nice one. Yeah, that was really nice.
First in the chat was Gareth Pierce Theme Parks. Hi all, first today, yay! Booked Paris for December, can't wait!
Yes.
This December?
Just like that?
This December?
Wow, Gareth, that's amazing. Hello to John. John was second. John Parker.
Hi, John.
Emma is here, says, evening guys, so excited for my first full live. I've been listening to all your old episodes this week in the car.
Oh, that worries me. What have I said?
Thanks for joining us, Emma. The Dunn family, 72 days till DLP and 21 sleeps till Walt Disney World. Got it all going on this year. Let's start with this one. Hey everyone, hope the whole gang is back together. Now we're back together. Together, I wanna show you my heart is
Oh, so true.
Yeah, we're back together and we're feeling all right. I had a moment today where I thought, oh no, I don't know.
Oh, was it before or after you'd had your bottle of cider?
It was after the cider.
Right then.
Chris and I were at a christening today. Lee says, good evening, gang. Glad you're all back together again. Thank you. And there's a weird smiley face to accompany that. 14 days to go. That's 2 weeks, in other words, for Lee. Dave says, hey all, missed the last live as I was at DLP for an awesome 5 days of Halloween fun.
That is no kind of excuse.
DLP, is that all?
I was going to send in a trip report, but we've come back with heavy COVID, so we'll have to wait a week.
Oh, no.
Dear.
Yeah.
Dear. The Disney flu, they call it, don't they?
Is that right?
It's a thing, yeah. People get the Disney flu. Hope you're all okay with it. Dave. Anne, hello, I'm going to try and listen this evening. Not made it to a live show for ages.
Oh, hi, Anne.
Well, hope you're still,
Good to have you back.
Hope you're still there. Jeff B, hi everyone. Excited to say 174 days until DLP and 118 until Efteling.
Oh, I still really want to go to Efteling. I really do.
Bucket list.
I was looking at Europe. Is it Europa Park or something in Germany the other day? It looks like they've basically ripped off a load of Disney rides.
Yeah.
and then chuck some really good roller coasters in for good measure.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Hello to Aaron, our old friend.
Hey,
old,
Aaron.
Not old, but a long-time friend.
Well-aged.
Youthful.
Appropriately aged.
Yeah. Hello to Mel, and Bonnie is here under her own name this week, so she's easy to identify. She's waving the pink hand.
Hello, Bonald.
Which, as we know, is Jimmy's hook, but... Jimmy, you're going to have to get in there early with this pink hand. Bonnie's been telling people about the squishmallows she got from the McDonald's Happy Meal. They're doing Halloween squishmallow, the mini squishmallows, and those are two of Bonnie's favourite things. And we've got
love those.
Sugar Sweet Samantha, a.k.a. Sugar Sweet Mama. And Moritz, and Emma, and Sam, and Ed, and Kira, and Andrew, and Ruth, and all sorts of other people like Cheryl, and Mark, and
I want to
and
say
Louise,
hi to Stelly.
and Kelfie. And Stelly and Disney Bride and Stacey and Gareth and Kerry and Mark. And that's it.
Stelly is listening live from hospital and says our chat will cheer you up. I hope it doesn't make you iller because we can do that. But get well soon, Stelly, and I hope it's a successful stay.
Cheryl says 41 days countdown. The packing has started. Too soon?
No.
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 Do you know I got a phone call from my brother on Tuesday? He said, Chris.
Which one?
Dan, my youngest brother. He said, Chris, I just needed to ring you because I need to do an idiot check because they're going to DLP on Saturday this week.
Have they watched my videos?
The kids don't know. Again, kids, it's not you. If you happen to be watching this for some strange, bizarre reason,
It's his
kids,
other brother.
not you. It's someone else. It just sounds like I'm talking about your dad, but I'm not. They won't watch it. They're too little. So he made me talk through things like passports and making sure I got light reflectors for his car and all the really boring stuff.
Yeah.
But they're very excited about their trip now, and I'm quite excited for them as well.
Oh, it's going to be magical.
Yeah, it's going to be
You
great.
see, they're a family that's outnumbered by children, so if they want to take with me with them to just kind of even up the ratios, I wouldn't mind.
Well, I said this to him when I was talking to him. I said, we've booked to go next year now at Halloween. I said, we did look to see if we could come this year to help you out, but we just couldn't afford it, so we didn't. But next year we're going, so that's good.
Money's a bum, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the word.
Money's a bum.
That is the
Money's
word.
a bum.
I hope I got everyone
Mind.
in the when I did that little
I think you did.
hurried. I'm wondering now if I said Kelfie.
Did you
I
say
don't know.
D?
Well, that's I think that's Dave from earlier, is it? Yeah, it's Dave.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
yeah. As usual, if I miss anyone, I still love you.
Oh, cool.
Should we do some news and then have a drink?
Yeah, let's do that. So we're starting off with
Ooh.
hot dogs in the rain. Do you know what this is
Hot
about?
dogs in the rain.
What's this about? This is like, guess the news story.
Dogs in the rain.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to do with Casey's Corner and the fact that they're building cover over so you can sit outdoors and have your hot dog.
That's it. They're building a
Keep doing this for the rest of the news.
Yeah, we will. They're building a permanent over the terrace that's in front that currently does have quite a lot of parasols because we've sat out there when it's raining, but they're doing a permanent canopy over that little terrace in front, and it's keeping in the turn of the century style of the main street. You've got kind of your wrought iron detailing going around the top with the coving. It looks really, really beautiful, and it's a very practical measure for somewhere like Disneyland Paris that has got a Central European climate and gets rain and so on.
During COVID, a lot of these places have bled out onto the street, haven't they, so to speak, to make more space for people and things. And I think it makes absolute sense that they're doing stuff like this.
I mean,
it makes the park a little bit more independent and different to the other parks as well, which I quite like.
Yes, yeah, it does. And it's like you will hear a lot of people talk about our arcades, and they are a solution to a weather problem, but at the end of the day, it does give it its own character, like you say, it makes it unique. I will say there are currently a lot of parasols there that stay out, all-weather parasols, that do give some cover for the rain. But obviously, this is just going to be a lot better. It's going to fit more people underneath it. It's going to be more effective, and hopefully, make them more money.
Well, Dave just said.
Hot dogs in the rain.
Dave just said, "Will the canopy block any of the peripheral views of the castle and fireworks?" Well,
Probably.
Probably, but the parasols will already be doing that.
Yeah.
And I guess the thinking is, this structure will probably be higher up, so it might actually make things a bit better.
I actually,
If you're stood in that area.
talking about the arcades and being different, I was quite cruel to someone on my video where I just heard, I referred to them as absolute noobs, and I heard them like emerge from the arcade and then noticed that they were on Main Street, and they sort of said, we must have, we've missed Main Street, went up the arcade. I don't know how you do that.
Miss it.
How you walk up the arcade not realising you're missing walking down Main Street.
Just accidentally walked up the arcade.
Yeah. And they emerged and they were like, that must have been Main Street parallel to this.
Oh, well, what about actually? No, because if you came out of Frontierland, for instance, and went straight into the arcade there, you might not notice. If you weren't paying attention to where you were walking, you might.
Yeah, but
start there,
to get to
turn left.
Frontierland, you have to avoid Main Street. Like, I got the impression it was the first time there.
And they wanted to walk towards the castle, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose if you're hugging the edge, you go past the town hall or the other side where they sell batteries. Maybe you could do it.
Did they walk all that way without seeing the castle then?
Yeah.
That was their first.
And then, they were like,
first
there's
view
the castle. Yeah.
That'd have been quite weird.
It's quite funny.
Oh, do you know what? I just got that sudden vision in my head of coming out from under the train station and seeing that castle for the first time again, and my heart did a little skip the beat. When you think about something.
Think about that. They missed that.
I know.
They walked through and didn't notice, and then walked down one of the arcades.
They probably needed to go to the town hall to cause issues for some podcast member, and then just turned left.
I think absolute noobs is right. I wonder if they came out into the square there and couldn't see the castle for the bandstand because of where they were stood. That's all I can think.
Hey, do you know this background we've got looks an awful lot like the photograph of the castle on my phone?
Oh, that's funny.
I took that.
Did you take it from here?
Look how nice this photograph is.
That is a nice
It's
photo.
a beautiful photograph.
Look, should we put it on the little camera?
I can. Can I do a clever thing?
Can you do it?
I can do a clever thing. Watch this. Watch. Now you see us. Now you don't. There you go. That's it.
All right, that's the whole. Well, that's the one I had to.
You did have to crop it slightly.
I had to extend that because the one I've got is a portrait, so I had to actually fill in both sides of that.
For people listening, Hugh's showing a picture that he took, and it's also it's the view outside of the archway behind us.
Yeah, we're positioned just near Adventureland.
Yeah.
So we're doing the show from there now.
Yeah.
You can see it through the archway behind us, straight through to the castle.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Kira just said, best noob experience I've ever had was a couple getting into the spider queue thinking they were going on a ride called Single Rider.
Which queue?
The Spidey queue.
Oh,
The web slinger.
Should we go do
Oh,
some rider?
Can I just request that everyone in chat puts in their favourite noob experience
yeah.
in the chat?
We
That
need
is
to
a
do this
good chat.
as a feature.
We had one in Disney World where it was in the middle of Dinoland USA, where they have like the little arcade games.
Yeah, right. Now, I didn't hear the guest say this. The guest said this to a cast member who had a microphone on, so I heard her reply, and I just heard her go, what was it? How do you get Fast Pass? And I could hear in her voice, and I turned around. Like, it's such a big question for someone to walk up to a cast member when you're in Dinoland USA and say, what's this Fast Pass? How'd you get to that point and not have heard of Fast Pass?
You see, I'm guessing for most people, Animal Kingdom will not be your first day park. So they've either gone to Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom the day before, and it was the middle of the day, and to get all the way into Dinoland USA, they've probably been in the park for a few hours to get to that point. And then
they sort of caught on that people were getting this Fast Pass, and they were like, "What's this? How are they getting this?" I mean, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. But
Kira says, I did help them out for the record. Does that mean you said...
Excuse me, I think you'll find it's Spider-Man Web Adventure.
Is that what you did?
that could be an incredibly accurate or offensive attempt at the voice.
Thank you. This is why I don't do the voice.
Yeah,
stuff.
let's drink. Let's
thirsty.
drink.
It's showtime. All together. Your tiki 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 cup in your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage. Now drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
Ooh.
Chris and I are on spooky cups that I've dug out of the cupboard. Every now and again, I get the feeling that like someone's tuning in for the first time, just at that moment, and they're thinking, what are these people waving cups to this jingle? Anyway, Lucy and I are drinking a pina colada, alcohol-free from Aldi. Although I heard someone pronounce it Aldi the other day, and I thought he was saying Aldi. It was Ashens, if you've ever seen that. Chris is going to have this. Now, Chris, a couple of weeks ago, remember we got the...
Fanta?
This seems to have some kind of chocolate on it. So I'd decant it into your cup. It's called Fanta Chocata. I think it's like lemon and elderflower or something. I don't know.
Lemon and daisies.
Ooh, it says Raj me.
If you like pina colada.
Anyway, I hope you're all enjoying a tiki drink tonight.
I saw a very correct tweet the other day that said no one ever talks about the fact that there was a hit song that was about a married couple planning on cheating with each other and then meeting in a hotel lobby and laughing about it. And I was like, good point.
Is that what happens in that song?
Yeah.
He puts an advert in the paper trying to find someone who likes pina coladas.
Right.
Because he's bored of his wife. And then his wife answers the
That's a good
advert.
short story, that.
It is, isn't it?
It'd be a nice short film.
It's
like
really...
if you pitched that like as your student final film, it'd be quite good. Dave says,
that's pleasant.
Is it?
You want to try it?
I'll have a smell of it.
It's elderflowery. It's definitely elderflowery.
Oh yeah.
I do like
It's
elderflower.
floral. Dave says, my noob story was from the last trip where we were on the DLP train, and a lady in the carriage with us said to her group, how's it taken me 4 days to realise, sorry, it's a bit far away, this is just a train and not a ride. Yeah, at what point is it? It is a ride, though. Well, do you know? No, it's not, is it? It is a train.
I mean, strictly speaking, it's 4 attractions.
It takes you to various stops around the park.
I would say that's a ride.
Is it transport? It can be both.
Is the monorail transport or is it a ride?
Oh, that's transport, because that takes you to your hotel. It takes you from where you are to where you want to be, because it takes you from your hotel to the park.
Okay.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
now,
this just takes you round and back again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the rule.
Because generally, you wouldn't say, right, I want to go to Discoveryland now. Let's get on the train from Fantasyland, which you'd walk it.
Let's queue for 25 minutes.
Yeah, it is slower than walking. We have done it, but more because we do want to do the train, not because it's the best way of getting there.
I like to get on at Main Street and go all the way around to Discoveryland. But
Yeah.
no, we need to do the other stops next time. For
But they're
change.
not always open, are they? Quite often they're not.
No,
open.
Frontierland was closed. It might still be closed. I'm not sure. It
Mm.
was closed for a long, long time.
No, I think my real favourite Noob story is not actually one from this show, but dedicated to DLP. I think it was. I think someone wrote in with this story, or Mark.
No, it was when they had an ex-cast member on, and he told the
No,
story.
it's not the one about that family.
Oh, okay.
No, it's someone took the mum on Tower of Terror,
Yeah.
and she thought it was like just like a kind of
He said
observation
It was
platform.
a viewing tower.
and she thought it was actually broken when
So she went up in the lift,
Oh yes.
and the windows opened, and she thought it was just a viewing tower.
What a thrill, though.
That is awful.
That's a
That
pure
is
thrill.
absolute
It's
awful.
almost worth it for the feeling of relief after. If you survived it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's like that first episode of Fleabag where she hides in the shower with a knife, and then he goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Magical by Sarah joins us and says, "Love the new backdrop. We were saying it's a work in progress. I've actually got the 37 Disney Street sign, which we were thinking earlier would go well up here
I
somewhere.
think we'd
will.
quite like to get the map up as well so we can see where everybody lives, but that might be a temporary.
Yeah.
I'd just like to apologise to everyone listening to the podcast right now after that massive flutter that Hugh just made. He's just dropped something. Carry on.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
What's next in the news?
Sorry, I'm reading some of these. Sugar Sweet Samantha says, "My first trip, I didn't realise the fireworks were every night." I think that's a lot of people think that, you know. They're like, "Oh, when can we see the fireworks?" And then she says, "Oh, and when I confused Crusher's Coaster with Under the Seas from Epcot." Oh, no. No. Those are very, very different rides. Oh, I don't like it.
I might tweet this photograph in case anyone wants
You can
it
put it on the close-up camera if you want.
for the phones, because it is.
Oh, look how it looks on the shot at the moment of us there.
I'm pleased with
The
this
magic's
photograph.
gone.
I can't remember when I took it. I'm assuming it was the summer.
So it's flowers in the foreground and...
Yeah, but they're all like orange and red. They're really interesting.
Ah.
I'll tweet it if you want to find it, listeners. I'll put it under the hashtag 37 Disney Street photo,
If you see me,
and then you can just grab it if you want.
if you see me
want it.
typing, I'm simultaneously making notes on what I need to improve on the visuals for the next show.
Yep.
Okay, carry on.
Out with the old, in with the poo. Right. Guess that news story, guys.
Oh,
Out with the
Out with the old, in with the poo.
Winnie the Pooh. I know this. I do know this.
Oh, right. Okay, it's not a toilet update.
No, it's not. It's something that I got angry about. I got angry about it earlier this week. I know I did.
You did. And yeah, and I
It's,
did.
It's about the Storybook boat. They are getting rid of Peter and the Wolf, and they're putting Frozen in instead, and they're getting rid of Hansel and Gretel, and they're putting Winnie the Pooh in instead.
Now, thing is that me and you both retweeted this, but with very different comments.
Almost at
But
the same time.
I had just seen the headline or the tweet or whatever that said that they were adding Frozen and Winnie the Pooh. Now, I've thought for years that hasn't changed. Oh, they did add Rapunzel. I think they added Rapunzel's tower at some point.
yes.
But it hasn't changed for years and years and years. And the layout of the ride is absolutely ripe to be regularly updated, I would have thought. So all I heard was they were putting Frozen and Winnie the Pooh in. And I'm like, good, because you should have been doing this all along. You should have been adding these additional IPs. But I didn't realise they were losing anything.
I feel like the bit where Peter and the Wolf is, all that snow, there's not a lot there. There is room for two. That's what I feel about it.
I think they could have the North Mountain behind it quite easily.
Yeah, but let's be honest. That ride is in need of a bit of TLC. I mean, it massively is. They close it every year and do a little bit of a clean up, but the book itself, if you look
it's
at the
gross.
book, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It really is. It doesn't look good. It's a charming little ride, and adding Frozen in is fine. It's just, I just feel like there's enough Frozen about to not need to have it there. That is all it is for me. And the more of these little niche little things that they get rid of, the more of the Disney identity disappears, and it becomes more about these things that kids like. And one of the people, I can't remember who it was, and I'm sure you're listening, so I apologise for not remembering who it was, but was basically saying that, you know, it's not really relevant for people now. But to me, it still is relevant. I mean, I'm 44 years old, and this film predates me. And there are people older than me go to those parks who would see that and go, that's relevant. This means something to me, and that's all it is for me. It's just why get rid of something so small and effectively insignificant when there is no need to get rid of it. Just keep the house, keep the characters there, and do the Frozen stuff next to it.
I also think the Disney Corporation in general is it's built on a really, really strong foundation of nostalgia and quality that goes back. Yes, Disney is 100 years old now. It goes back 100 years. And I think they forget that at their peril. And I think that in cases of standing on the shoulders of giants, to kind of go with what kids today like and what's popular and expunge everything that's got them to where they are. It's short-sighted, and it dumps it down because Disney as a subject is a massive nerd culture thing, and there are a lot of us, and I think that while ever there's catering to these first-time families, they also need to remember that there's nerds like us exist who like Peter and the Wolf.
And can I just say as well, there's this whole it's not a big deal at all, but there's this big lake being built in the studios, and around that lake they are building the whole Frozen land. So is there a need to put more Frozen somewhere else? Does it need to be in all these different places?
Well, no, I would agree with adding it a bit somewhere, but not at the expense of something else.
And the other thing for me is this bit of news was released at the same time as they released this information about this print that's going to be available. I don't know if you've seen it. That's got loads of characters on it for the 100th anniversary. It's got absolutely hordes of these characters on it. So on the one hand, at the moment, they're saying, look at all this history and all these amazing things we've got. And then the other time, they're going, but let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that as well. And we'll just move these things out. And it just seems like a shame. It seems like a real shame to me.
It's also I don't want to whistle into your microphone, so I'll try to sing it. Do 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 do. That's the soundtrack of the Storybook ride.
It's the soundtrack of my childhood. We had that on record when I was a kid. So
did you?
It means a lot to me.
And now it's going to be.
Right, and just on that point.
No, what?
Just on that point, I retweeted a walkthrough video of the new Frozen ride in Hong Kong. Is it?
Yep.
Which we're going to get. And it.
I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't think you would. I was massively underwhelmed by it because it is basically, let's travel through the snow on a boat and go and see Elsa, and then go back to Arendelle, and that is pretty much all it is, and it's all the first film stuff, and it's about 8 years too late. I don't understand it.
That sounds like the one in Epcot.
Yeah, it does.
They had an opportunity to do something really cool with it, and use some of Frozen 2 as well, for goodness sake. You know, there's a real opportunity there with some great characters and all these different elemental things going on, and they've just not bothered. They've just churned out Frozen again.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the Epcot ride, and it does sound the same. And now you and Bonnie will go on it, and I will do something else.
It's a very ordinary dark boat ride is the one in Epcot. Now, the thing is, I'll go on all those. I love a dark ride. I just enjoy it. But there's nothing e-ticket about it at all, given the queues that it gets. It's just a really normal boat ride.
What I'll say in its defence is it is nice to see some brand spanking new animatronics and not the whole thing. I mean, there are screens and stuff, but not the whole thing thrown into screens. So there's some good technology and some great looking visuals there. I just wish for more. I think that's all it is. I just wish for a bit more.
I've tweeted that photograph, #37 Disney Street Photo, if you want to grab it. But annoyingly, Twitter sometimes, don't do it all the time.
X.
It's done it this time. So, Twitter. It's added a little artifact to the bottom, like a little line at the bottom, which wasn't there. So sorry about that.
And if your name is Zoe or Jodie, please like it.
You can crop it, or Anna, or... Yeah, we've noticed...
If you've got 22 followers, If you follow 22 people and you've tweeted 3 times, please like it.
Are they bots then? These every tweet now is accompanied by one random lady, and you go, "Oh, who's this person?" And you click, and it's like, "Hi, I'm looking for love. Are you the man?"
Also
Oh,
exactly the same thing.
yeah, I'm sick to death of them.
Anyway,
Yeah, fun things. Come
carry
on.
on.
Sorry.
Silence.
Right, I remember what it is. A queue with a view. Guess that news.
Guess the news.
This is a bit niche, and that's not the best headline for it, but we'll go with it. Queue with a view.
Does it tie into the Casey's Corner thing? Because the only other thing that I was thinking of is there's been a bit of news this week about other covered areas to for queues that they're going to completely revamp things like the outdoor queue for Peter Pan's Flight,
Oh,
for instance.
I didn't
and
see that one.
Tower of Terror.
Yes, that's the one.
Uh,
Have I missed the Peter Pan's Flight thing
well,
then?
they've not. They've just said it's one of the ones that they're planning on doing in the future.
Oh, right.
The idea being tied into the Casey's Corner thing that it rains a lot, and I think they've had problems with that this year,
Yeah.
probably more than they have done in the past, and so it's kind of made them think, do you know what, we ought to do something about that. So
Yeah, so it's they have released concept art for the Tower of Terror
Yeah.
one, so I believe that is imminent and
Yes.
it is going to be done. I didn't know about the Peter Pan one, but it makes perfect sense because of the.
because it's an awful queue.
It's a pig pen queue. I call it a pig pen queue, and it's just kind of lifeless switchbacks
but
in
it's
the
also
outdoors.
it's open. I mean, at least on Dumbo you're covered in that queue completely.
So the one at Tower of Terror is they are putting another sort of wrought iron canopy over it, similar to on Casey's Corner actually. It'll be a difference in theme because it's meant to be 30s, isn't it? So it'll be slightly more Art Deco or Art Nouveau. What do I mean? Art Deco or Art Nouveau?
Deco.
Thank you. They're also going to tile the floor, which is a good move because DLP Report did a side-by-side comparison of what it's like now and what it's going to be. And right now, it's a nasty floor. It's a concrete, water-stained, lifeless floor. So that's going to have some nice kind of terracotta tiling, and it's the rose garden area that they're doing, and then they're going to put a canopy on there as well. So improved queuing experiences. Now these, believe it or not, these are the kind of renovations I do get quite excited about because it means to me that Disney management is putting their money into guest experience, not bums on seats. You know what I mean? They are upgrading. Yeah. They're not going to make any more money out of covering that canopy.
And people aren't going to book a trip based on this information, are they?
No.
Whoa, we're definitely going now. That's sold it.
But there could be some people who have been and said, well, my entire holiday was wiped out because we just got soaked everywhere we went, and actually I'm never booking again.
That's
and then they
true.
hear this news and go, oh, well, I'd quite like to go and see what that viewing station's like in Tower of Terror.
I've queued there in the rain. Have you queued there in the rain with me?
I
Not sure.
can't remember. No, I don't think it was raining.
No, that
when
won't
I
make
was-
sense because
yeah.
Bonnie would be on her own.
Yeah.
Unless it was the time we took her on it. But it's like Toy Story Land in Florida. I'm actually a little like, if it's a blazing hot 40-degree day, I won't want to go there because it's famously got no shade as Toy Story Land in Florida. These sort of mundane details kind of do make a difference, don't they, sometimes?
I suppose you're right, but it's soft income as opposed to direct income, isn't it? They know that if they build Tron and advertise it, people will come to ride Tron. Stuff like this is a little more subtle. Obviously, everything they do to improve the experience helps Disney, but I don't prefer them putting money into this. That's not fair at all. I can't wait for the expansion, but I respect them for putting money into stuff like this.
Do you reckon in redesigning these queues, there's the opportunity to get more people into the queues, and therefore, but without it looking quite as busy, if that makes sense? And so there's some benefit in that probably somewhere as well. But yeah, it's good that. I've done good at guessing the news today.
You
so
have.
I quite enjoy this. We should do it from now on.
I know. Well,
This should be, you give us really obscure headlines and then we have to try and figure out what it means.
let's see what the next one is. Oh, well, this is a bit descriptive, so you're going to get it.
Okay.
Hotel preview.
No, I haven't got a clue.
Hotel
Is
preview.
it to do with the Disneyland Hotel?
Yeah,
Having a
yeah,
preview?
yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about the Disneyland Hotel, but it clearly is something that they are pushing in the news at the moment because they're wanting everybody to book this incredibly expensive hotel when it reopens in January next year. But
What if
they
they have to close it like the Star Wars one?
Do you
'Cause
know
it's
what?
just too expensive.
I've been thinking about this. If people book it over the next year, one of the main reasons it's they're able to charge what they are is because the Olympics are there next year.
Oh, that's true.
So get the Olympics out of the way. If it doesn't sell as well as they're expecting, they can just drop the price. can't
But
they?
you know, with Hotel Art of Marvel, when it first opened and the prices were absolutely eye-watering, I thought give it a couple of years and then we'll look at going there because they can't keep these prices high. But you know what? They have.
Well, day one bookings were affordable, I thought, but they cost nearly twice as much then afterwards. So
Yeah.
you're right. But who knows? I guess we'll see, won't we?
Anyway, so they've had a preview for they've had a preview for the cast members in the dome, the Disney Dome in the Village, which is just kind of between the Village and Newport Bay. You've probably seen it. A lot of you won't have been in it. If you did something like Run Disney, they did an expo there for it. If you've ever been to a conference, like Hugh's company did a stationery fair or something, those are the kind of places
No,
they
they
have
had
it.
their like, annual. It's just like a work conference.
Yeah.
Before I was there though, so I didn't get to go.
But the average holidaymaker will have no reason to go in this Disney Dome, basically. But you might have seen the tent. So they had a preview for cast members. And at this preview, they had mannequins with the cast uniforms on.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
They had tableware and they had some merchandise like notebooks, pens. They have a special eau de toilette, which is the hotel scent.
Did you see the table?
I'm going to show you guys it in a moment.
You're gonna show it?
Yeah. They had like the toiletries that are going to be in the room and the slippers, and they had the artwork that's going to be on the walls. Now, as you can imagine, all of this is incredibly high end. There is absolutely no doubt that they're not catering to the kiddie market, other than it being fantasy princess stuff. They are catering to the 5-star resort people. Now I'm just going to show these to Hugh and Chris because.
You can put them on the thing if you want.
But well, in that case we're gonna thank DLP Report because I am getting this off their news report.
That's fair.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we all always recommend that you go on DLP Report because they are the best source of news. And that's where we get a lot of ours. But what you've got here is kind of a jacquard waistcoat. It's all in burgundy and that very kind of rich pale blue. And what do you call that colour? You know, it's like a bronzy gold. Do you know what I'm saying? To try and describe it for the bronzy gold.
Stick with that.
Yeah, bronzy gold. There's lots of embroidery, lots
Shiny
of details.
pale brown.
Yeah. They've got berets, they've got dicky bows, they've got tailcoats for the gentlemen. Really, really plush stuff. Looking at some detail there. And then I move on to the toiletries that you're going to have in your room. You're going to have monogrammed slippers and bathrobes. We have all these individually wrapped special toiletries. Like a lot of very high-end places, you don't just get shampoo and conditioner, you also get like dental floss and a toothbrush and Q-tips. I know, but you know what it means to be in these really posh places that Lucy doesn't go.
Loads of tat that we can give away in a competition.
Yeah.
Grab it all.
They have some eau de toilette, and you also have these like fleur-de-lis specific handbags, which I have no doubt, there's no prices on any of this, I've no doubt that handbag will be €400 kind of price. It's that kind of thing. Then you've got your monogram teacups, and you've got all these another fleur-de-lis notebook and a gift set pen. Just, you can see what market they're going for. Now this is interesting, these are going to be in the rooms. So there's some gorgeous artwork of Cinderella and
The Last Dragon.
Last Dragon.
But you can get a better look at these if you need to on DLPreport.com,
Yeah.
can't you? If you want to
Which we highly recommend you
without
do.
the light glaring off the screen as it is here.
Yes.
And finally, this is Royal Mickey and Minnie, who will be meeting in the foyer. So, that was that.
Emma says, not liking the chandelier in real life. The concept looks so pretty too. Dave says, I did wonder why there were loads of people going into that dome.
Oh,
I might be with Mark on this. He says, think I'll stick with Santa Fe / Sequoia Lodge and spend the spare wedge on food, drink and merch.
Yeah, I'll be with you on that.
Sugar Sweet Samantha, did anyone else see the table for the Lumiere restaurant?
oh
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
That's what I was asking. I thought you were going to show it. You said
I
you were gonna
didn't
show
put
it.
that on the news. Sorry. Oh, I didn't
It was
know.
cool, that.
When you said the table, I'd seen it laid out with the crockery, and I forgot about that. Tell them about the table. Chris.
Well, it's just a table. There was a table setting, and every other setting had like a whole animation thing going on with it.
Yeah.
The food was being displayed on it. Apparently, they've done it in other restaurants somewhere. Is it in Walt Disney World maybe? Wait, so you can see what the meals are basically on the table, on the plates. It projects them,
Oh.
so you can see
Yeah.
what the different meals are.
And the
It's kind
table
of an
itself
interactive
is
menu, I guess. I don't know.
animated, and they've got it's daft to say they've got swirls going around the table, but when you see the swirls going around the table, it is stunning.
The implication from DLP report was that this has been done in other places, and it wouldn't be at every table setting. It tends to be something that's there that people can go and look at, but it wouldn't be on the actual tables. But whether or not that ends up being the case, I don't know. That's just what was implied in what I was reading.
Good night, Aaron.
Good night,
Sweet
Aaron.
dreams.
We
Sweet
did
dreams.
say when we saw the prices for Lumiere's, I was being a bit, there's no amount of food that is worth that to me. And I was saying it's worth it to go to Hoop to do musical review. It's worth it to do a character meal. It's worth it to do the princess dining. But to me, a signature dining location, it just isn't worth it. But if they're going to have things like that almost make it like a dinner show, if you have those additional experiences, that makes it almost worth the money for me.
Yeah.
Almost. Except that I don't have that kind of money.
Jeff B says apparently the projections at the launch won't be in the actual restaurant.
Oh,
So there you go.
it's not as good as I think.
No.
They're still going to have to do something pretty
They
special
have spared some expense.
to convince me that I need to go there. Finally, 100 little details.
And finally,
Anybody?
100 little details.
Okay, in honor
Nothing to do
of
with the Disney's 100.
Disney 100, they're going to put 100 little tiny statues around the park, and you've got to find them all. That would be great. Come on, let's do that. Really small ones,
Sounds
though,
familiar.
like little 3-inch figures all
Those
around
people
the
who
park,
carve on a toothpick.
hidden
On a matchstick.
like minute ones.
Can I just say, Bonnie was quite tired today and she's not in the chat. I suspect she's asleep. I'm just wondering if she'll chat and tell me
Are
she's
you
not.
there?
Tomorrow is the 100th celebration. If you remember, they're just doing one day
Yes.
because the season is kind of ingrained. But they are having one day that is a celebration for the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company.
It's nice, isn't it?
And they have released some graphics with the programme of the day. So what we know so far is at 9:30, there will be an opening ceremony, and that is on the hub on Main Street. We know nothing about this. We just know there'll be an opening ceremony. I love stuff like this. I'm quite excited for tomorrow to find this because Disneyland Paris is so good at it, and I like that they don't tell us what they're going to do.
Bonnie says she's here.
Oh, she's still awake. Hiya, Bonnie.
Maybe we've just bored her. And
Just
she's
woken her up.
She's got nothing to say. She's just sat there going, oh,
This is the worst show I've
boring
ever
today.
watched.
The 12:30.
Boo.
5:30 lunchtime. There is a pre-parade. Presumably that means it's coming in straight before the parade, and it is 100 themed
Does that mean people...
pre-parade.
What's a pre-parade? Isn't the pre-parade where they go and put the barriers out to stop you from walking in front of the parade?
Maybe it's a pea
It's where
parade.
the fire warden.
A pea parade where
Showers.
everyone gets weed on by your favourite characters.
Between 1:45 and 4:15 and 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. on the castle stage, there will be a selfie spot.
Yay.
Don't shout about stuff like that, Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
Don't try make us feel grateful
Everywhere
for a selfie.
is a selfie spot in a Disney park.
So if you want to
Everywhere.
get on some rides, that's probably going to be the best time to do it because everyone will be crowding around.
Everyone will
that
be at the selfie spot.
Quick, the selfie spot!
Between 1:45 and 4:45 and 6:45 and 8 in the Walt Disney Studios Park and Production Courtyard, there will be a meeting point. I presume this means it'll be a character meet and greet, but they haven't put that. They've just put like a hexagon that says meeting point.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
not.
someone pointing at you.
It's not like that boring thing that like parents go, you know, like now if you get lost, we're gonna meet here, okay? Everyone remember where we're gonna meet. Well, if you get lost, remember where to go.
Hey, that is not boring. That is basic family safety.
When have you ever used it though?
I used to say that all the time, but I haven't said it for years now. But I need to start doing that again. Say, if you
That's-
get lost, go to this particular place.
But the thing is, when we were young, we didn't have mobile phones. So right up to being like teenagers, it would be, right, we're all going to head off where we want, but you have to come back here. That,
You're right,
you know.
the signal in Disneyland Paris is atrocious. So
Yes, that's true.
so
So you
still
need
a
it.
meeting point.
Okay.
Thing
What
is,
else?
if you get lost in Adventureland, and you got to make your way all the way over to Discoveryland, so it's better to have like a meeting point in each park.
But then how do you know which meeting point to go to if you've got well and truly lost?
Just stay there. Just find one and stay there, and we'll check all 5.
At
So we found you.
9:30, following Avengers Power of the Night in Walt Disney Studios Park, there will be a constellation celebration.
It's
Oh, I
an
love those.
homage.
I'm guessing that is a drone show.
Un hommage dans l'étoile. Les étoiles, sorry.
A homage to
Un
toilets.
hommage dans les étoiles.
So we know nothing about that. We're presuming because of the time of day it is and the fact that it's immediately after Avengers Power of the Night that it is a nighttime spectacular. And I think constellations, my guess is it's going to be drones in the shape of the Big Dipper and Orion's Belt.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it'll be that kind of thing. But it'll probably come
Or
together
it'll
to
be
make
like,
the Disney logo.
This is the bear constellation, but it'll turn into like blue. Ooh.
That's my guessing. Right. And then at 10
Or
p.m.
Duffy.
Yeah, Duffy's face.
Bongo.
At 10 p.m. following Disney Dreams, there will be... Oh.
I've got a good idea.
There will
Same
be
thing.
a constellation celebration. I was about to say, I was put 2 things on the same time in different parks. People can't go to both, but that's because it's the same thing done twice in 2 different parks.
Right.
So,
Duffy drone show, right? Because you know Duffy's part of his face is made up of Mickey Mouse silhouette. You start with the silhouette, then you add the nose, and then the eyes, and then the rest of it, and you've got Duffy. They could do that with the drones.
that sounds good.
Can I just make a suggestion? I'm just going on a straight translation of the French to the English. Do you think a constellation celebration means a celebration of the stars? And what they actually mean is that in the Disneyland park, it's going to be a celebration of like the classics type characters, and in the other one, it'll probably be Marvel characters and Pixar and stuff like that, Star Wars.
Perhaps.
That'd be my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
That it means the stars of Disney and not necessarily the constellations. Just hazarding a guess, because I know that Disney's famed for astronomy, but just on this occasion it might not be that. That's just a
Well,
suggestion.
if they're not
We'll
doing
find out
that,
tomorrow.
if they're not doing that, Lucy's idea is better. and you know, then having the constellations turn into things like the Big Dipper could turn into that famous Disney character that's like a big pan.
Is that one of the characters from the Brave Little Toaster?
Peter Pan. What from? Oh, the
Brave
Brave
Little
Little
Toaster.
Toaster.
Love that film.
I think it's one of the deleted scenes from Beauty and the Beast. They left him in the cupboard, the pan, and like the wine glasses.
Hey, do you know what? It's like nearly 20 past.
Well, Mark Chester has just given us a provocation.
Well, we might have some trip reports though still as well.
Well, we can hold the trip reports off because you and I haven't had a discussion, so I don't know what you've read and what you haven't. So if you've only got 10 minutes left, I would suggest that we don't do one this week and we catch up on them all next
Well,
week.
Mark Chester wants to know what's been your fave meet and greet. I can answer this one. At Run Disney, I met Brer Fox and Brer Bear, and they were just so big and cuddly, and they rubbed my face with their hands, and it was really nice, and I enjoyed that.
My answer always changes, but I liked Bonnie dressed as Chewbacca meeting Chewbacca. It was brilliant because they made Chewbacca cover his eyes, and then she walked in and he jumped back.
My biggest regret was the first time I went to DLP in the studios, the forecourt bit, just as you go through the gates there was Jose and Panchito, and I didn't know who they were. So I wasn't bothered about it. And I'm just full of regret.
That's
because
grade
I
A
would have
meat.
absolutely gone and done that. But my favourite, I think, was probably... I was going to say Stitch, but no. Meeting Captain Hook was really good.
There's ones that are always just good, solid meats, like Jessie in Frontierland is always...
Jessie's
she's
really
always
good, yeah.
really good with the kids.
And Goofy and Pluto. To me, it's best when Goofy and Pluto are meeting together, which they do sometimes do. They did at Christmas, and they're both just so anarchic and fun and energetic that it's really good.
We did meet a Pluto in Florida in the Garden Grill, who maybe Pluto was a bit hot and sweaty and needed to go. I'm guessing. I don't know, because he was all business. He took the book to sign and he signed it and he got the heck out of there and disappeared off somewhere in the back. And I just think Pluto was really hot under his collar.
Needed a break.
And had to go for a break. Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, my favourite meet and greet was when we did Inventions with Mum and Dad, because there was a moment where Dad was with... I think it was Pluto, actually. No, yeah, I think it was. And then Mickey from a distance started prattling about with them. And so there was this kind of dual interaction thing going on. It was just really nice. I like those when you see them in videos where one of the characters is doing a meet and greet and another one comes past and gets involved with it. I always think that's pretty special.
Yeah.
Someone's just mentioned how the best meet and greets when they interact with you during the parade. I think it's Emma Smith just mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
And I found this picture of Bonnie today, and she was dressed as Tinkerbell at Christmas, and Tinkerbell she waved down from her float and waved and did a hug, and then she indicated to one of the gingerbread Mickeys to go and see Bonnie, and he came out of the parade and gave her a cuddle. And this is a picture I got immediately afterwards as the parade continued. I don't know why she appears to be stood on her own. I think it was the angle that I was stood at. I showed you with other people, but that was the reaction I got from a 3-year-old Bonnie after. Oh, sorry. Oh, there you go. Hugh's got the actual hug.
I've got
the hug moment. Look at the look on that child's face. It was the most magical Disney experience. Look at that.
Look at that, listeners.
Oh, I think we should tweet these because it was very, very special.
I do like those gingerbread men.
They're a little bit scary though as well, aren't they?
We burnt one by accident, didn't we? We've got two and one got a bit burnt. How did it get burnt?
I don't know. I didn't know it got burnt.
Put it in the oven.
Yeah.
It got burnt on something. It's got like a black ear or something. You burnt it somehow.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh no.
How did that happen?
I can't remember. But yeah, for me, I don't know if that's classed as a meet, but if interactions during the parade counts, that is 100% the most magical. It's my most magical Disney moment, and it will take a heck of a lot of beating, will that? It was just, like, as a parent, I think I sobbed afterwards. That's why you be obsessed with Disney and you pay all that money and you go that often, is for moments like that. It was so gorgeous.
The new Marvel, what they call, like, superhero experience, I can't remember what they're called now.
Yeah.
The new ones in Avengers Campus.
Hero training.
They're really good. We've done Thor and Spider-Man, and they're just great.
Oh, we did the Spider-Man one.
Thor told me I had a nice beard. Good beard.
Oh, I just remembered how good Spider-Man was the first time back in the old days.
That's one of my favourite ones ever.
He jumped out from the side, but he did it in the Spider-Man way, so he landed like that. We weren't expecting him. Again, Bonnie was very little. But we always have like questions ready in case it gets boring. And I said, Bonnie wanted to know if your hands were sticky. So he put his... because you can climb. So he says, no, they're not. And he put his hands out. And again, she was only tiny. And she kind of went up and felt his hands. And he was so good with her. It was so lovely.
Bonnie says, I never knew that happened.
There you go.
Is this the gingerbread men?
You were cute then as well, Bonnie.
It's so sad. But we remember it, even if you don't. And it was so magical.
Yeah.
Shall I do some Facebook stuff?
Yeah.
You can do some Facebook stuff. So, those of you who don't know this already, if you want to keep in touch with us, the best way to do it is through our Facebook group, which was set up by Cheryl. It's the Disneyland Paris Show, 37 Disney Street, and it can be found on Facebook, and there's a link to it in the description for the podcast and for the YouTube video as well. Yes, we go on Twitter, but we also spend a lot more time on here, so get on there. But basically, every week I ask you to send me in your stuff, and this week is no exception. So first up, Jane Murphy.
So professional.
So Jane Murphy says, I saw the Walt Disney Imagineering post on Instagram today showing the new Disneyland Hotel chandelier, and I'm actually disappointed. I think Emma in the chat, Emma Smith, is on your side with this as well, Jane.
I need to look at this. I haven't seen this.
I love the concept art. I thought the crystals would fall in a formation to reveal the pattern of the castle. In my head, it was a delicate and subtle, but I found the castle they've installed in the centre looks really clumsy and clunky. See if you can find it, and we can share that in a minute on the close-up cam. Pamela Strachan says, after listening to dedicated DLP, I chanced trying to book La Table de Lumière. Great news, I was able to make a booking despite not staying at DLH. Absolutely delighted. But the reservation people called me back to say they'd made a mistake, and it's reserved for DLH only. Gutted.
No.
Cheer myself up the only way I can by upgrading our stay to Disneyland Hotel.
Oh.
To which Jenny and Nick Williams say, that's the most logical solution. Very exciting.
So that meant to keep the booking?
To keep the booking at Lumiere's table.
Or to be able to make a new one?
They've upgraded.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wow.
Emma Sylvester says we probably won't be joining tonight as we're in London, ready to head to the Disney 100 exhibition tomorrow.
Yay.
And then the Disney 37 Disney Street gang posted as well, which I think was you, Hugh. And that's it. But I only posted this 4 hours ago, and normally I'm a bit more in advance, so I apologise. If any of you in the chat have got anything you're grumpy about right now, or you want Hugh to do a Winnie the Pooh impression like he did last week, then...
Oh, man.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother.
It's a really hard accent, really hard voice to do.
It is, because it breaks in a certain way, and
bother.
it's a certain pitch, and like... With that, you've either got it or you haven't.
I have this.
I haven't.
It's a video. I have this
sorry.
chandelier video ready.
Yes, go.
Where have you found this video?
On Disney Imagineering.
All right. So, listeners,
It's official.
we are presented by Crystal
Oh.
Stars. There are dangling crystals with a big hunk of a castle
Rammed in the middle of it.
plonked in the middle.
Oh, I mean, remember, you're going to be seeing this from a distance. That's going to sparkle beautifully. It's not subtle.
No.
It's a large glass castle dangling in the middle of things.
Just turn that music off before we get copyright infringements because of it.
Yeah.
Good thinking. Okay.
Okay.
And
Well,
look
that's
how high up it's going to be. I think it... But where will you
I
see
don't
the
know.
castle from? You're not going to see it from the floor, are you? Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I don't mind that. It's all right.
I'm not. Yeah.
It's all right. I get what you're saying. Those of you who don't like it, I understand.
I mean, I do like the idea that it would be made up of the dangling bits getting thicker in places to create the impression of that castle rather than just a castle stuck in there.
Like-
But that's a whole different level of...
Like the
Finishes
old
and-
Channel 4 idents where it's one thing and then as you walk around it turns into another thing.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah. Emma Smith says my daughter got a kiss from Piglet in a parade, and she was 2 and very into Winnie the Pooh. Perfect first trip.
I tell you what doesn't go down as well, when the 3 little pigs come over to say hello.
Oh, yeah.
One of them's eyebrows just go straight down and he looks really angry, and then he comes lumbering over to you and it was like, no.
Yeah. It's like he's offering you on. Come on then. Come on in.
Oh, that's gorgeous though, the piglet thing. I do recommend that a lot of people don't do this, but it makes a big difference, that when you watch the parade, you actively try and interact, shout characters' names, wave at them, jump up and down, because the thrill you get when they turn and they look at you and they wave back and they blow you a kiss, and sometimes they like motion certain things to you, like when Bonnie's been dressed as Anna Anna turned and was motioning, I like your dress. And she pointed at her dress and she pointed at her own dress. And she was like, oh, that's so beautiful. And like the eye contact. So do your best to interact with the parade. It really does enhance
Unless you're just
it.
like a lascivious dad and you're going, Tiana! 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 She's not listening. Tiana! No, she's not interested.
I don't know what to say
That's
next.
tickled me.
I know.
Just end the show. It's time.
Louise
Indeed.
Bell says she met Snow White, her favourite princess, and Dopey years ago.
Oh, we waited for who? Snow White and Dopey.
And Dopey, yeah.
Yeah, we waited for Snow White to come out of that little sneaky bit near behind the castle when when Bonnie was, because like normally they just zip past, but she had to stop because Bonnie was dressed as Snow White.
And she was gorgeous.
Aww.
Yeah, she was very good.
Oh, the magic of Disney. It's just no good doing this show every week when I don't have the trips booked.
Do you not feel like there's going to be some interesting stuff to talk about next week because of the Disney 100 and things? I mean, obviously there'll be this, but it feels like there's other stuff going on.
We will be doing recaps of tomorrow. We'll be letting you know everything that's gone on tomorrow. If there's anybody there, please send us a trip report. That would be amazing.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think we're probably going to talk about the exhibition down in London, which we're not going to. Thing is, I don't know. We were gonna go. I was all set to pack up and go and get the day off work, and we just haven't managed to swing it. And yeah,
Bob's going. Maybe he could record a trip report like he did last time and then accidentally delete it and lose it all.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he recorded the whole thing and was about to send it to me. And it went.
Stelly's going. You'll get this reference. You
I
done.
saw it. I laughed at it.
Done.
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 Done. Alan.
Oh, marvellous. Right, is that everything? Shall I sign off?
Yeah, are we doing a Patreon thing, whatever it's called?
We should.
Extra magic time, as we haven't done one for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Now,
Is
with
there
our
extra
new
magic time we've
setup,
got to
I
go?
can't see the stats, but what often happens at this time is that we have quite a lot of viewers and not very many likes. And it
Oh.
always makes me go, do you not love us, guys? So before you leave us, before we say bye-bye, just click that little thumb, yeah? Give us a little like. How would that be? That'd be really good. And consider joining Patreon because it's only £3 a month and it helps us do new things like this and do the things and make everything work as well as we possibly can, and it just keeps the lights on and website hosting and stuff like that. So if you enjoy us and we've in any way contributed to your trip, consider supporting us on Patreon. If you already do support us on Patreon, you get to stay on for another 20 minutes and listen to us talk about any old thing that pops into our head.
And the fact that we need to do a giveaway still and we haven't done it yet. We need
True.
to start a new competition, don't we?
That's what I need to do.
There we go.
I knew there was something on my iPad. I was like, let's edit something.
So come and join us and we can put the
Not
pressure
my
on
iPad,
you.
my tablet.
And that'll be fun.
Right. Okay, guys. Happy Disney to anyone who's going in the next 7 days. To the rest of you, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Bye-bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.
What are you doing?
I'm waving the cup.
Why are you doing that?
I'm not-